I got to confess something that bothered me when I was in about grade 5. I learned that you can write fractions as decimals, right? So, well, half, 0.5, a third is 0.33. This is a funny one because it's 0.3 repeating, they say. So if you write down the decimal, there's just infinitely many threes. It's a little bit of a weird thing. So then I thought, well, okay, so if you take a third and you multiply it by 3, you should get 1. Of course you should get 1, right? So, of course, you can multiply decimals, right? If I multiply this decimal by 3, then I could do that too. I could somehow multiply it digit-wise. There's no carrying or anything if I multiply a 3 by a 3. So it looks like I'm going to get 0.99999 forever. And then the thing that, of course, could bother a person is that this seems like a contradiction, right? Because a third times 3 is 1. 1 is 1. But if I wrote it out as a decimal and multiplied it by 3, then I seem to be getting something else. Well, it looks like if you go back to what we were doing with the square, though, you can see that this isn't really a contradiction. This actually is 1. Well, why is that? 0.9 is 1 minus a tenth. 0.99 is 1 minus a hundredth. 0.999 is 1 minus a thousandth. And as I write down more digits in this infinite chain, I say, well, what is it? Well, at each stage, of course, it's not 1. It's less than 1 by a fraction that gets smaller and smaller as they go further down the chain. And the way in which they get smaller and smaller is they keep multiplying up. So if you really wrote a decimal with, you said it's 9 in all its decimal places, then you have to say, well, what do you even mean by that? Well, you can't say it's less than 1 because it's not less than 1 by anything. If you say it's less than 1 by a hundredth, you say, no, it isn't. Just write down another 9. You'll see that's not true. If you say it's less than 1 by a millionth, then you say, well, no, it isn't, because I'll write down enough decimals so you can see it's really, really very close to 1. And then it's only going to get bigger as I add more decimals. So the difference between this and 1 is actually 0. And so this is another example of, it's kind of misleading the way we write these numbers with these infinite sequence of decimals, because this is actually the same number as 1.